Hey guys, this reading is for Capricorn. Let's jump into it. Let's get started. Let's see what the universe has in store for you guys today. So, universe, what messages do you have for Capricorn? You have some guidance, some insight, some affirmation, maybe some warnings. And I got a few that want to come out here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with those guys. So I have positive movement forward. I have harmony. I have the solar plexus chakra, with usually represents self-esteem and inner power. I have the waiting game, and I have the authority card as well. So I feel like we're learning to be more assertive and more clear in our communication. I feel like it ties in with a relationship with a partner. I feel like it's a change that you're making. There may have been some issues there where the communication wasn't entirely open and clear for whatever reason. But I feel like that's starting to change, and I feel like that's what the positive movement forward speaks to in this, is progress. I get the word progress when I look at it. Memories of love, awareness, solitude, rest and rejuvenate, and wisdom. So I feel like you had to reflect on some stuff and take some time for yourself in whatever this was as well. And maybe it was a matter of you just figuring out what you wanted and what you needed. You had to figure that out for yourself, and you needed to sort of take some time to do that before you could communicate it to someone else. You had to become aware of your own feelings. I pulled the Three of Wands, which also speaks of a positive forward movement, but still keeping your eye on your goal, working towards a goal. I have the Four of Swords, which usually represents sort of, I think it ties in with the rest and rejuvenate, sort of taking time for yourself, to sort out your feelings, to heal. I feel like all of this is setting a firm foundation for you for the future. I also got the Two of Cups, which speaks of a relationship as well. So I think it ties in with this. I got the Tower card here. And the Tower card, it tends to represent something coming to a disappointing ending, but I'm not totally getting that vibe yet, that this relationship has ended or will end. I'll have to get a little bit further into the read to get more of a beat on that, but right now I'm not getting that vibe. I have the Nine of Wands, which also speaks of a positive forward momentum, working towards a goal over time. I have the Queen of Swords, and in this, to me, when I look at her, I see the word truth. But I think it's an inner truth. I don't think this is like you had to find truth in the relationship. I think this has to do with you and taking that time to find out what you want and what's really going to make you happy. I have the Star card next to her. The Star card speaks of hope. And I have the Knight of Pentacles, which tends to represent something you've been working towards for a long time finally coming to fruition. To me, that speaks of this inner journey that you're on and finding the answers. I have the Four of Pentacles here. The Four of Pentacles, they sometimes call him the miser card. And he speaks of penny pinching and sometimes selfishness. To me in this, he just speaks of holding back. That's just what I see, holding back. I'm not sure if this is your partner holding back, if this is you holding back, but I don't feel like this speaks to money at all. I feel like this speaks of emotions and an emotional connection and opening up. I got it next to the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands tends to represent conflict. I think this was part of the conflict you guys were having. Somebody is somebody's closed off. And I think it ties in with the oracle cards that I got earlier about learning to be assertive and speak your feelings. I also have the Nine of Swords, which can represent being trapped in negative thoughts and emotions and not really being able to see your situation clearly or make choices. I feel like part of the healing that you're going to have to do in this relationship, if there's a chance of you guys coming back together, is going to be that everybody's going to have to learn to be open and honest about their feelings. And you might have to be the one who takes the first step. I have the Seven of Cups here. The Seven of Cups tends to represent choosing wisely, many decisions, weighing your options out. I almost feel like that's part of what you're doing right now too, while you're taking a break and taking this time for yourself. To find yourself, I think in your mind, you're sort of exploring different options. I have the King of Swords. I got him on top of the Five of Wands, which was the conflict card. And to me, when I look at him, I see cold, I see closed off. I have the Devil card too, and the Devil card, he tends to represent a person who's manipulative, who's destructive, but in this I just see the word anger. So I don't know that this speaks to a specific person. I think this speaks to okay, the vibe that I get is the anger, it's your anger, and it's caused by this person being closed off and not letting you in, not being emotionally available. It's very frustrating. That's the vibe that I get off of it. I did get the Nine of Pentacles here, which tends to speak of abundance. And it usually speaks of financial abundance, but I don't think that's what this is talking about. I think this is speaking of your need for an emotional abundance and an emotional connection. I got the Queen of Cups on top of the King of Cups. And Cups tends to represent emotion. I feel like you're really dying for that emotional connection that you're not getting from this person because they're closed off about their feelings. And that might just be part of who they are. I have the Five of Swords here as well. And the Five of Swords tends to speak of victory at the cost of others, selfishness, short-won victories. I do have the Lovers card here as well. You might not be happy with me, but the impression that I'm getting from this is that one of those choices that you're weighing in your mind might be to start a relationship elsewhere or to look elsewhere while you haven't finished this one. And while you guys are taking a break, you might be looking at somebody else. That's That's the vibe that I get off of these cards. With those two cards, I got the Hermit, which represents an introspection. I believe that it's encouraging you to think this through very carefully, to do some deep thinking and some soul searching before making this choice. To me, I have the Emperor here, and he speaks of seeing things logically. I see logic and I see honesty with him and doing the right thing. I think these are warning you against this short-term selfish victory that I think would hurt you in the long run. It might feel good in the short term, but it's not going to get you what you need, and it's going to cause you a heck of a lot more drama in this other situation that you have not completely removed yourself from yet. Feel like this person that you're thinking about getting involved with, I got the King of Wands here. They're very passionate. They're very fiery. They have a much more sort of, I don't really want to say out there personality, but they just feel like they're the complete opposite of this person that you're separating yourself from now. And that's maybe what you find so attractive. I have the Judgment card here, and when I look at her, I got her right on top of the Lovers card, actually. And to me, she speaks of making a very careful decision and making it logically, not emotionally, because I think that's gonna wreck you if you react and make your choices based off of your emotions. I think that's going to cause you a whole world of hurt that you don't need. It also negatively affects other people around you. And the Eight of Cups usually speaks of a positive forward journey and leaving the past behind. To me, when I look at him and I see the spilt cups, the first impression that I get is you leaving a whole lot of hurt in your wake. So if you make this choice to have this affair, I think you're going to be hurting a lot of other people. That's what that card speaks to me of, is that you'll be doing a whole lot of damage along the way. And I have the Page of Swords. To me in this, I see the word dishonesty when I look at him, and I think it speaks of this possible affair as well, and that it would be a dishonest way to go. I pulled the Throat Chakra, which speaks of communication, victory and success, financial and material changes, and love begins. So one way or another, I feel like things are going to very much change for you. Whether you choose, one of your choices, whether you choose to make this relationship with this King of Swords end, whether you choose to patch things up by opening up your lines of communication, putting the work in, which I don't know if they would put the work in. The cards don't speak of that. The cards are about you, not about them. Whether you choose to have this affair, whether you choose to leave the current relationship and make this, instead of an affair, and a relationship, I feel like it's going to be a big change, whatever it is. I think you need to decide what's really going to make you happy. What's the best thing for you? What's not going to hurt you in the long run by just having a short-term victory? I think you need to start thinking long-term here. And I think that's the only way that you're going to find success in your love life, is by thinking long-term, thinking honestly, and doing what the right thing is, because I feel like you know what the right thing is. But there's there's what's right and what feels good, and sometimes they're two different things. So I think that's part of the decision that you're going to have to make as well. Alrighty guys, I hope you found that read helpful. Please feel free to comment. I would love to hear from you guys, and take care.